This is a
So,
exclusive.
this is a girl that I'm interested in, but I can't get her attention. So, I stalk her Instagram page and look at her following count. I look at her snap score. I'm looking at what she's tagged in. I'm analyzing her highlights, checking her stories like I'm peak Xavi and peak Iniesta, just going back and forth. I know the plays. I see that her boyfriend is not on her story anymore, so I'm watching the lines, make sure I'm not offside, can't move in too fast, because VAR is going to come back and be like, nope, offside, play not allowed, and you got to come back. So I'm doing all that. I finally get in there, offside run, but man's moving like Darwin Nunez. I take the shot and I miss. Man's moving fugazi. I'm moving like Tony Snell, man. I'm at the rim.
Tony Snell's tough. He's insanely tough. Don't do that.
I'm at the rim. All I gotta do is just make a layup. But moment's too big, lights too bright, missed the layup, got too excited, and I call her phone 7 times. Is it Rizz to spam her phone 7 times? Why is she not picking up? She must have fell asleep for real. What do I mean by that whole situation? Is it Rizz to spam her phone 7 times? No, it's not Rizz to spam her phone 7 times. You should have did it 8. Realistically, what that is don't be desperate. Don't rush things. Don't rush the process.
Okay, pause. That's a 1 minute 40. That's insane. I did not know you could do that.
Oh, I got situations cooked up.
But yeah.
Don't rush the process.
So David Lee was scanning through tweets. He's like, "Oh, I had that." I said, "Let's talk about it," because that's like, it's valid. Like, some people, I am watching someone do it. I don't know if they even know that they're doing it. It's awful, or it's not awful, but like, I guess just knowing what I know now, it's a bit better. And like, I can handle it. But pretty much, in terms of being desperate, what are you?
5'6".
All right.
That's what he said.
I was distracted. This is Deli Vidova. Deli Vidova is insane. So is Unitas. I could put everyone on wave, but that's a different topic. But okay, back to the story. I'm focused. I'm trying to work on focus. In terms of being desperate, when you chase after something so much and you put it on a pedestal, sometimes you repel it. I've noticed that. I used to put money on a pedestal, and as much as I used to get it, there's a lot bigger bag that I was missing out on. Because, analogy right here, I saw a $30,000 bag, but if I just took a step back and looked behind me, there's $1 million over here. But I was just so caught up with this money on a pedestal, where it's like, if I just sat back and enjoyed life and looked around, like, I see $1 million over here, another 2 mil over there, but I was just so fixated on this. Same with the woman. If you put, oh, this baddie, she's so bad. If you put a Cardi B on a pedestal, you might miss out on an Ice Spice or Sexy Red or whatever floats your boat. I don't know, but
Mariah Janaiko, Mariah the Scientist.
There you go. Whatever,
whatever
you want. I don't know, but
what's that called? That's Superman in a world of.
Yeah,
she's looking for Clark.
She wants Spider-Man, but she'll walk by Peter Parker.
Peter Parker every day.
Come on.
You can turn that around and use that for whatever. I also like the desperation, put on the pedestal, like being desperate and like stepping back and seeing, oh, there's a bigger picture. A little spin-off of that is like it's a Aesop. No, it's not Aesop fable. It's an African fable, and how to catch a baboon. And they use salt traps. And the baboon gets so greedy and desperate, it sticks his hand in the trap because it wants the salt. And now his hand is small enough to fit in, but it's not small enough to come back out when it has the salt in its hand. And the baboons end up always getting trapped and killed because they want the salt. All they have to do is let go of the salt and pull their hands out, and they're out of the trap. But the baboons get so desperate that they end up killing themselves because they want the salt. You won't move your hand out the trap.
That's a good one.
Instead of just letting go. Yeah, it's a pretty good fable. Thank you. It's a pretty good fable. And it's a little, I wouldn't say fable because it's not a super long story, but it's like a quick little analogy that they tell people, like, sometimes you think something is so bad, but all you have to do is just take a step back. And because you're so desperate, it goes back to a previous video that will be posted about that delayed satisfaction and wanting instant gratification.
Some of the
Brace
greatest
yourself.
moves in the game come off a major step back. Look at James Harden. Step back 3. You're in the range of 2-pointer. You got to take a step back. It may look counterproductive, but you create the gap. 3-ball, James Harden. That's why he's a GOAT.
You can see they feel better too.
50-point games.
Here's the dagger.
Yep. And you can apply that to like many points of life. Even for me, like I had a rough stint of life, but I used to chase stuff so much, and it's like, in stepping back and like, okay, what do I want out of my life? I was able to focus it on myself. Created a business, got a lot of stuff done that made me a very productive human, I would like to say, and a lot happier in myself in my day-to-day, rather than chasing something and having bad days because that dictated my day versus me. That's enough for me.
Guys, again, every time we film these great videos,
Everyone's trying to call me.
everyone
I
keeps calling
apologize.
us. It's so crazy. But as I was saying, going back to the topic of, is it Rizz to call her 7 times? I can talk a bit on the girls, women don't like things rushed in all aspects, okay? And men too. If you're really trying to actually get to know someone and you want something to come out of you trying to talk to her, Rome wasn't built in a day. It takes a while to grow a garden, to get the reward of the vegetable, the plant, the present. You gotta spend time, you gotta water it, you gotta feed it, you gotta give care to it. And so if you're trying to rush the process and say, I want my plant now, it's gonna come out crappy, and it's always gonna end crappy. And if you want a good relationship, you gotta take your time, get to know the person, get to do this and that. Don't make them feel uncomfortable and forced to actually foster a relationship with you. It's just not gonna be beautiful, and you're gonna end up being deemed as a weirdo and doing counterintuitive what you're actually your main goal. That's just even on the women relationship aspect. Now you apply that to the rest of your life. Is it Rizz to call your job 7 times? Is it Rizz to just force something and just force and be annoying and just pestering and just rushing the process of things? Is it worth doing that? I think what more can you say? I think you can use this into so many aspects in the world. Just don't rush things, take your time, be patient. It will come. And if it doesn't come, that means it wasn't meant for you.
Amen.
And if it doesn't come at the time, maybe you should try a little harder. Maybe you're not doing something right. You gotta look at it from a different lens and be like, oh, maybe I was doing this. Maybe I need to try this out instead. And then it comes. Maybe she doesn't want to be called 7 times. Maybe she wants to be taken out and give her some flowers. Instead, ask her how her day is or something. There's just so many things to apply it to. It's
That's my
if you slow
Xbox.
down,
I apologize.
it's all right. Slow down and look at stuff. Don't rush it, because greatness could come out of it, and you're missing it because you're moving too fast. Sometimes you got to be the
Sorry, the video cut again. Had another call. But I just wanted to finish a thought quickly. Especially at this age, I find a lot of people are rushing into relationships and they're like, oh, this isn't working out, blah, blah, blah. An analogy I like to use is, on a scale of right now to 50-year anniversary, you're at the beginning. Even if it's a year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 years, scale of 5 years to 50-year anniversary, you're so far. And you're already trying to merge years of this person not knowing you and years of your life. You guys don't know each other, and even at 5 years, you have so many years of backlog of not knowing each other. It's synthesizing 2 people. So don't rush everything. Be kind, be more understanding, be more courteous. Yep, not gonna drag on too long. I think I
hit it on the nail.
that was a good point. But I find that analogy works because, again, it gives you more perspective. Amen.
Don't call her phone 7 times.
Rizzy.